the sixth administration of government of the day draws to a close, it is essential to recognize and celebrate the successes of the South African Police Service over the past 5 years. The South African Police Service launched Operation Shanela in May 2023. Operation Shanela is premised on Operation Ukai Mulao, which was a flagship operation in Gauteng launched in 2019, which saw the entire provincial leadership out on the streets fighting crime, led by the provincial commissioner. The operation was then launched and rolled out across the country. Operation Shanela was conceived, characterized by regular stop and searches, vehicle checkpoints, roadblocks, cordon and searches, high visibility patrols, foot patrols, tracing of wanted suspects with a special focus on murder, rape, illegal firearms, and compliance inspections at liquor and second-hand goods outlets. Over 550,000 suspected criminals have been removed from society and brought before the courts to answer for their alleged crimes since the introduction of Operation Shanela. During many targeted intelligence-driven operations, we have recovered and distracted over 248,940 illegal firearms, which were subsequently removed from our communities. Some of the firearms and ammunition were voluntarily surrendered or forfeited to the state during the firearms amnesty declared by the Minister of Police in 2020 and 2021 respectively, and others were confiscated by the police during intelligence-driven operations across the country, as well as tip-offs from community members who are committed to ensuring that illegal firearms are permanently removed from circulation. A total of 156,777 firearm amnesty exhibit material was received and tested in the last 5 financial years. The SAPS Forensic Science Laboratory has for the past 5 years distracted drug exhibits with a total mass of 50 tons with an estimated street value of 7 billion rand. During this administration, the SAPS has advanced its efforts to eliminate the backlog associated with the analysis of DNA samples, but also prioritize the analysis of exhibits that directly support court-ready cases. Today, we can report that historic DNA backlog, which caused much delays in the investigations of domestic violence and sexual offenses, has been eradicated. The President of the Republic unveiled the new DNA laboratory in PE, aimed at improving the turnaround times in DNA analysis and to reinforce the fight against gender-based violence and femicide. In 2022, government adopted the Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy, the ICVPS, which sets out a comprehensive collaborative framework or mechanism for a whole of government and a whole of society approach to crime and violence prevention in the country. The ICVPS recognizes the centrality of crime and violence prevention and rests on 6 pillars. Pillar 1, an effective criminal justice system. Pillar 2, early intervention to prevent crime and violence and promote safety. Pillar 3, victim support. Pillar 4, an effective and integrated service delivery for community and the prevention of crime and violence. Pillar 5, safety through environmental design. And Pillar 6, active public and community participation. For the first time in the history of this country, community policing forum structures were allocated funding to enable CPFs to fulfill their constitutionally mandated roles to support the SAPS in its efforts to fight crime. 70 million rand was allocated to the provinces in the 2023-2024 financial year to support CPFs in terms of resource requirements. This funding will assist CPFs with resources such as vehicles, laptops, torches, reflective jackets, and other tools of trade. From April 2023 to date, 1,171 intelligence-led takedowns were conducted by the SAPS. These specialized operations involves weeks and at times months of planning, surveillance, and monitoring of targets. They involve highly skilled detectives working together with members of tactical units who execute arrests. The National Task Team assigned to investigate the Fort Hare murders has made significant strides with 24 suspects arrested to date. Over 20 would-be cash-in-transit robbers in Witbank in the Mpumalanga province were also stopped in their tracks through coordinated responses by the police and the private security. 5 of the suspects were killed during a gunfire exchange with police in their attempt to evade arrest. This figure includes the 2023 fatal shooting in September of 19 CIT suspects in Bakado, Limpopo, who opted to engage in a gun battle with police instead of surrendering, as well as 4 other CIT suspects who were killed when SAPS members and farm watchers from Woodspruit joined hands to trace suspects who had already shot and killed a cash van security guard. Through the CARA funding, the SAPS has been able to foster closer collaboration between citizens and the law enforcement agencies in the fight against crime and corruption. This was focused on illegal mining, economic and infrastructure sabotage, including operations targeting copper and cable theft and other metals, awareness on organized crime, and infrastructure crime and vandalism. The adverse effect of countrywide lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which saw the stoppage of the recruitment of police for 2 years, coupled by the dwindling police numbers due to retirement, natural attrition and resignation, has necessitated that bold and ambitious projects such as Project 10,000 be introduced. The SAPS heeded a call made by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa during his State of the Nation address in 2022, 2023 and 2024. To that end, we have welcomed members of Project 10,000, and a third batch of these members are currently in training at various colleges across the country. The SAPS has in the last 2 years trained and deployed over 20,000 police officers to stations and specialized units over the service to bolster policing and efforts to prevent and combat crime. 4,500 trainees reported at various academies in April 2024. Public order policing remains the backbone of mass gatherings, including social events, rallies, marches, and community protests. A sizable portion of the Project 10,000 recruits have been allocated to the Public Order Policing Unit in response to the Falam Commission recommendation that impressed on the SAPS that crowd management training be firmly grounded in the crowd management doctrine. The procurement of vehicles for the SAPS is a critical aspect of maintaining operational effectiveness and mobility for law enforcement personnel. The purchasing of SAPS vehicles and branding in the current administration contributes to the overall goals of the police service, improves operational efficiency, crime prevention and response, acts as visibility and deterrence, are also being used as a tool for community engagement and outreach. Building new police stations is a significant achievement in efforts to bring police services closer to communities, while improving response times, access to police services, and enhances the overall security for communities. Police stations, particularly the Clyde Service Center, CSC, is the first reception area and contact point between the community and the police in addressing crime and matters of administration. Overall, through our revitalized supply chain management division, the establishment and completion of over 22 new police stations, many were renovated and a few more are under construction, reflecting a proactive approach by the SAPS to adopt the evolving community needs and enhance service delivery, ultimately contributing to safer and more secure communities across South Africa. Enhanced policing through technology and 4IR. The world has seen the transformative impact of drones on modern policing, showcasing how these unmanned aerial vehicles have become invaluable tools for surveillance, impacting on crime prevention, crowd management, and emergency responses. Equipping police officers with body-worn cameras and other wearable technology enhances accountability, transparency, and evidence collection during interactions with the police. By embracing technology and leveraging innovations from the 4IR, SAPS is enhancing its policing capabilities, improving efficiency, and building stronger relationships with the communities it serves. 178 members of the SAPS have been killed in the line of duty in the past 5 years. In most cases, these fallen members are the breadwinners of the home. The 6th administration continued to support the family members of the deceased members of the service through the South African Police Service Education Trust, SAPSET, whose objective is to generate funds specifically designed to support the educational requirements of the dependents of our fallen members. Over 6 billion was raised this year alone. SAPS has reprioritized funding and human resource activities in order to fund an increase in the service allowance. The SAPS service allowance has therefore increased from 400 Rand a month to 700 Rand per month. This administration also saw the introduction and amendments of various bills aimed at supporting policing while strengthening the criminal justice system and reinforcing the rule of law. In May 2021, government published a notice in the Government Gazette formally inviting public comment on the proposed changes to the Firearms Controls Act of 2000 as detailed in the Firearm Control Amendment Bill 2021. In November 2023, the Portfolio Committee on Police adopted the A-list version of the Independent Police Investigative Directorate IPID bill, pushing it a step closer to becoming law. The committee is confident that the substantive public submissions received and the inputs made by committee members have greatly strengthened the bill, thereby ensuring IPID structural and operational independence. The Pogdatara Bill. In 2021, the department tabled the Bill on the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorist and Related Activities Amendment Bill. The draft bill seeks to update the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorist and Related Activities Act 2004, the Principal Act, with regard to developments in international law, to give effect to certain constitutional court judgments and to address challenges addressed with conducting investigations and prosecutions. The Ministry of Police has hosted many countries in an effort to benchmark and share best practices regarding policing imperatives. Countries such as China, Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo, Vienna, and Mozambique exchanged ideas and developed roadmaps to mitigate emerging crime patterns in respective countries and explored the implementation of the bilateral relations between the various countries. The SAPS has held various chairpersonships of SAPCO and hosted visitors to promote, strengthen, and maintain cooperation and bolster joint strategies for the management of all forms of cross-border and related crimes within the Southern Africa Development Community (SADC) region.